I've been to Rome and I've been to the coast. I've been to places that matter the most, to other people with better addresses and better reason and better guesses about what a man's supposed to want. I've ordered everything off the menu, hun, and what I found at the bottom of the list is a man who doesn't know what he missed. Fly me back to nowhere, where the signpost doesn't say, where the road is long enough to last another day. I've been somewhere, I've been somewhere, and it didn't quite fit. Fly me back to nowhere, I'll take care of it. In Paris they say the light has something to it that makes a sad man feel like art. I sat in a cafe on the left bank, proving it with a beautiful sadness in my heart. In New York the speed keeps the grief from settling. It just circles like a cab you didn't hail. I think I prefer my trouble stationary. I like to look it in the face without the veil. Fly me back to nowhere, where the signpost doesn't say, where the road is long enough to last another day. I've been somewhere, I've been somewhere, and it didn't quite fit. Fly me back to nowhere, I'll take care of it. Nowhere isn't empty, it's the honest kind of full. No one performing happiness, no one playing the fool. Just a window and a coffee and the sound of nothing much. Nowhere is the somewhere that I haven't lost my touch. Fly me back to nowhere, that's where I belong. Nowhere and a record and a good long song. We've been sitting here for half the night, talking about everything except what's right. In front of us and growing like a wall. You've been twisting at the ring I bought last fall. I've been watching all the exits in this place, and watching something changing in your face. Not anger, no, it's worse than that, I think. It's patience that has finally reached its brink. One cigarette from goodbye, one drink from the door, one sentence from saying what we're both saving up for. One cigarette from goodbye, we both know the count. We're using all the small talk to postpone the amount that we owe to each other at the end of all this. One cigarette from goodbye, one more almost kiss. You asked me once what love was supposed to feel. I said it's this and pointed at the meal. The table and the candle and the wine. I should have said your hand inside of mine. Now there's an ashtray full of almost sets, and a check we should have asked for hours back. I keep my eyes on everything but you, because some goodbyes you can't take back. One cigarette from goodbye, one drink from the door, one sentence from saying what we're both saving up for. One cigarette from goodbye, and we both know the count. We're using all the small talk to postpone the amount that we owe each other at the end of all this. One cigarette from goodbye, one more almost kiss. Maybe I'll order another. Maybe you'll powder your nose. Maybe the band plays one more set, and neither of us goes. But the cigarette's burning to the filter now, and the waiter's looking at us anyhow. You put on your coat and I hold it there, and something passes between us in the air. One cigarette from goodbye, just one.
I've been called a few things in my time. Unreliable's one, inconsistent's fine. The women in my past have each in turn agreed I'm not the lesson, I'm the burn. But I hold the door and I tip the band, and I know the words to Chet Baker's plan. So if sainthood's out, and it clearly is, a man's gotta work with the life that's his. Every angel needs a vice, something warm on a cold night, a reason to come down from the clouds and join the rest of us in the crowd. Every halo needs a tilt, a little sin beneath the guilt. Heaven's fine, but it's so, so nice that every angel needs a vice. Now I'm not saying I'm a difficult man, I'm saying I'm an acquired taste with a plan. I show up when I say mostly, and I remember your name mostly. The trouble is I like the room, I like the smoke and the jazz and the perfume. And sometimes, like in the room, so much means someone went home without my touch. Every angel needs a vice, something warm on a cold night, a reason to come down from the clouds and join the rest of us in the crowd. Every halo needs a tilt, a little sin beneath the guilt. Heaven's fine, but it's so, so nice that every angel needs a vice. Now don't misunderstand me, I believe in the good. I've been in enough places, I know where I stood. I just think the divine made us fashionably flawed, so we keep coming back for some kind of reward. Every angel, every halo, every one of you ladies in the room needs a little vice. There's a particular quality to 4 in the morning that noon will never know about. The avenue empties out to something like the truth, and a man can walk without the doubt that someone's watching, someone's measuring, someone's keeping score. At 4 a.m. the avenue belongs to the ones the day forgot to sort. The avenue at 4 a.m. belongs to no one much. The delivery trucks and the man with the dog, and me slightly out of touch with sleeping with the ordinary version of whoever I am by day. The avenue at 4 a.m. is the truest part of the day. I've been through the inventory again, the way I do at this particular hour. The ledger of decisions and the interest they accrue, and the compound of regret gone sour. But even that gets quiet around 4:15 or so. The avenue just holds it all, and the avenue lets it go. The avenue at 4 a.m. belongs to no one. The avenue at 4 a.m. belongs to no one much. The delivery trucks and the man with the dog, and me slightly out of touch with sleeping with the ordinary version of whoever I am by day. The avenue at 4 a.m. is the truest part of the day. By 5 the bakery opens, you can smell it from the street. The city clears its throat and wakes and pulls me to my feet, and I become the daytime version. Button up, look right,
Nobody knows about the avenue, nobody knows about the night. The avenue at 4 a.m., the truest part. The door for the man ahead of me. He walked right through without a backward glance. I tipped my hat to the woman in the elevator. She gave it to someone with a better chance. I've been punctual and patient and prepared. I've shown up sober when it counted most, and what I've got to show for all of that is a very well-deserved and empty toast. Good men finish last and know it well, know the score. Knew it somewhere around 32 or 3 when the game made clear the rules it had in store. Good men finish last and know it. And here's the thing, they know that finishing at all is still worth something. You'd be surprised how many didn't show. Now I'm not calling out the winners. A winner's gotta win some kind of way. I'm just observing that the particular texture of my particular losses has a kind of glow. I've lost with grace, I've lost with dignity. I've lost in front of people I respected. And every time I tipped my hat and walked away, I went home feeling curiously collected. Good men finish last and know it well, know the score. Knew it somewhere around 32 or 3 when the game made clear the rules it had in store. Good men finish last and know it. And here's the thing, they know that finishing at all is still worth something. You'd be surprised how many didn't show. I could have played it different. Lord knows I had the tips. I could have kept the change and bitten tighter lips. But I am what I am at a rather late revision. And a good man finishing last is still a man with a certain kind of precision.
Good men finish last.
And baby, that's alright. Good men finish last and sleep just fine at night. The priest says forgiveness is a gift that you give, but the bartender says it's just a reason to live. And between those two gentlemen, I've come to find that forgiveness is mostly about your own mind. I've held on to grievances with both of my hands, the way a man man holds on to outdated plans, but 3 fingers of whiskey and a long enough night, and the math of old grudges stops adding up right. 3 fingers of forgiveness. Pour it slow, pour it clean. Let it settle where the anger used to be.
3 fingers of forgiveness.
Not for them, understand.
3 fingers of forgiveness.
Just to free up your hand for something better, for something real. 3 fingers of forgiveness. That's the deal. Now I'm not saying he didn't deserve what he earned, or that the bridges I burned didn't need to be burned. I'm saying the smoke from a bridge I burned years ago is still in my lungs, and that has got to go. The man who wronged me is asleep in his bed, and I'm the one with all his rent in my head. That's not justice, that's just habit by now. 3 fingers and a long night shows you how.
3 fingers of forgiveness.
Pour it slow, pour it clean. Let it settle where the anger used to be.
3 fingers of forgiveness.
Not for them, understand.
3 fingers of forgiveness.
Just to free up your hand for something better, for something real. 3 fingers of forgiveness. That's the deal. I'm not all the way there, I wanna be honest about that, but I'm further along than I was last year, and that counts for something in the ledger of a life. 3 fingers, pour it slow. 3 fingers of forgiveness, and let the damn thing go. She left on a Tuesday, which was decent of her. Most damage gets done on a Saturday night. Tuesday's a quiet and unremarkable blur. No crowd to witness, no one to fight. She packed what mattered and left what she meant to leave, which was most of it. Truth be told, the coffee was still in the pot when she went, and I drank it standing out there in the cold. She left on a Tuesday, Tuesday's still strange. It comes every week now, but nothing has changed. The bed's the right size and the silence is wide. She left on a Tuesday and took Tuesday with her and inside. I've run through the inventory, 100 cold nights, the shoes by the door and the arguments right. Who started the last one? I honestly can't say, probably me. On a Saturday, she left on a Tuesday, and Tuesday's still strange. It comes every week now, but nothing has changed. The bed's the right size and the silence is wide. She left on a Tuesday and took Tuesday with her inside. I don't miss the fighting, Lord knows that's the truth. I miss the voice underneath it. I miss the proof that someone was there in the particular way that a specific person makes a specific day. She left on a Tuesday. The weather was mild. She kissed me once like you'd kiss a child. Not cruel, just careful, the way that you close a door to a room that nobody goes. She came into the room like a change of season, the kind you didn't know you needed yet. The band slowed down without apparent reason, the way a room does when it doesn't want to forget. She wore midnight like a dress, like it was made to fit, and every chandelier agreed by dimming down a bit. The conversation lowered to a hush, the ice stopped in the glass, and I sat there in my corner, letting all the others pass. She wore midnight like a dress, cool and black and sure, the kind of entrance that the room can't quite recover from anymore. She wore midnight like a dress, and I wore all my years, and somehow in between us was the best I'd felt in years. Now I've seen beautiful before, I wanna be precise. Beautiful is a different thing from this. This was something in the way she crossed the room, something in the quiet of her wrist. She nodded to the pianist, he nodded back like old friends do, which told me there was more to her than anything I knew. She wore midnight like a dress, cool and black and sure, the kind of entrance that the room can't quite recover from anymore. She wore midnight like a dress, and I wore all my years, and somehow in between us was the best I'd felt in years. She ordered something dark, she didn't ask the name. She had the kind of certainty that others try to fake, She never looked my way, but I maintain she knew. That's the kind of woman that a midnight dress comes true. She wore midnight like a dress, like it was made for her, like she was made for her. Funny how loud a room can get when nobody's saying a thing. We sat across a little table with a candle burning low, 2 cups of coffee going cold, with nowhere left to go. The band was playing something soft about a summer breeze, but all I heard was silence settling between our knees. I should have said I'm sorry, I should have reached your hand, but pride can be a stubborn guest a man don't always understand. And the night we didn't speak said more than words could say. Every quiet second pushed your heart away. Yes, the night we didn't speak still echoes in my mind. 2 people at a little table leaving love behind. You traced a circle on the glass, like you were drawing up a plan. I watched the door behind you, like it held another man. Not someone new, not someone else, just freedom from the fight, from all the things we never said that haunted us that night. You waited for a miracle, for one good honest line, but I just wore my silence like it was a sign of spine. And the night we didn't speak broke more than we could see. A love don't need a villain, just a little apathy. Yes, the night we didn't speak still lingers in the air. 2 shadows in a corner booth with nothing left to share. Now I've said 1,000 things, in rooms that weren't as real. I've made a crowd lean forward, hanging on the way I feel. But the words that really mattered stayed buried in my chest, and silence won the argument we never put to rest. Oh, the night we didn't speak still keeps me up past 2. I've replayed every moment of what I didn't do. Yes, the night we didn't speak was louder than goodbye. A whisper can be stronger than a tear you let cry. If I could have one evening, I'd change what I'd repeat. I'd trade 100 speeches for the night we didn't speak. Next time I'll say it.
I've had the same bar stool since '53, and everyone on either side of me is someone I will never see again, which is exactly how I like it, friend. A stranger's got no history on you, no version of the man you used to do. They take you as you come, and that's the deal. A stranger only sees what you reveal. Strangers make the best company. They've got no claim on who you used to be. They laugh at all your stories like they're new, because to them, friend, they are new. No one checking if you've changed, no one counting what you owe. Strangers make the best company of everyone I know. The woman on my left is from Duluth. She's passing through and telling me the truth about her husband and her sister and the town. I'll never need to hold that secret down. And the fellow on my right, he's in from Rome. He thinks that everyone here is at home. I told him no, we're all just passing through. He said, that makes it beautiful, don't you? Strangers make the best company. They've got no claim on who you used to be. They laugh at all your stories like they're new, because to them, friend, they are new. No one checking if you change, no one counting what you owe. Strangers make the best company of everyone I know. Now I've had my share of permanence. I've been someone, something for a while, and I don't want to make it sound like nothing, but a stranger's got a very honest smile. Strangers make the best. They really are the best. The very best company of everyone I know. I went out in the rain this evening just to feel it, because feeling something cold is feeling still.
and the numbness that's been following me lately needs a little conversation with a chill. The city doesn't dress itself for funerals. It goes on like it always did before. The rain don't know the difference between mourning and a man just walking aimless from a door. The rain don't know the difference between a man in love and a man who used to be. The rain comes down regardless, falls the same on you and me. And I used to take offense at that, the indifference of the sky. But tonight it's almost comforting that the rain don't wonder why. There are people on the avenue with umbrellas who are rushing to get somewhere they belong. And I envy them somewhere more than knowing that a destination's how you stay strong. But I've been strong for a considerably long while, and tonight I'm just a coat inside the wet. The rain don't know the difference, and I haven't learned that yet. Don't know the difference between a man in love and a man who used to be. The rain comes down regardless, falls the same on you and me. And I used to take offense at that, the indifference of the sky. But tonight it's almost comforting that the rain don't wonder why. By the morning it'll stop, they say. By the morning most things look a different way. I've been told that long enough to know it's partially true, and I'll take what I can. The rain don't know, the rain don't know, the rain don't know a thing. getting late in every sense of the word. The band's played most of what it knows. The room has thinned to just the last few faithful, the kind that stay until the music goes. I've been sitting here since sometime after 7, running through my catalog of nights, and this one has a quality I recognize, the kind that only comes when something's right. Not perfect, Lord knows I gave up on perfect somewhere west of 30 and a little south of sane. But right has its own particular flavor, and tonight it tastes like something I can't name. One more for the road, because the road is long and dark. One more for the memory, before the night takes all the spark. I've had worse evenings, I've had better, I suppose, but one more for the road before the good stuff goes. I've been the man at the beginning of the story, all hoping here and somewhere to be soon. And I've been the man at the closing of the chapter, talking to the waitress and the moon. Both of those men have something I admire. The first one had the nerve and didn't know. The second one has something better, maybe. A reasonable acceptance of the show. One more for the road, because the road is long and dark. One more for the memory, before the night takes all the spark. I've had worse evenings, I've had better, I suppose, but one more for the road before the good stuff goes. There are people I should call, there are letters I should write, there are things that keep until tomorrow but keep a little worse each night. I'm not gonna solve them here with a glass and a good song, but I'm gonna finish both of these and then move along. So here's to the city and the lights it keeps burning. Here's to the strangers who became a night. Here's to the women who were worth the learning, and the ones that taught me how to get it right. Here's to the music that was always worth the cover, and the silence on the other side of it. Here's to the road that stretches out before me, and the man who still has got the nerve to sit. One more, just one more for the road.
There's a booth in the back of a bar I know, where the light don't quite reach and the music's low. I've been coming here since '49, when a woman I love still called this mine. The bartender's name is Joe or Jim. I never asked and he never gave a damn. He pours to the rim without being told. Some men tip in dollars, I tip in cold. One more for the road, or maybe two. The road don't care, and neither do you. The jukebox plays something I used to know, so I stay in the booth where the light is low. There was a time I came here dressed with somewhere to be and someone impressed. Now my jacket's a little worse for wear, and there's more of a stool than me in this chair. But a man who drinks alone ain't sad. He's just had more time to count what he had. And I had plenty, I had it all. Before the autumn, before the fall. One more for the road, or maybe two. The road don't care, and neither do you. The jukebox plays something I used to know, so I stay in the booth where the light is low. Joe sets another one down without a word. Best conversation that I've had this third. He understands the language of the glass, that some things come and some things pass. Last call comes around about 2:45. He wipes down the bar and he looks at me. I leave him the change and I leave him the stool. One more for the road, and the road is cool. I blew into Chicago on a cold December night, with $40 a suitcase and the nerve to think I'm right. The city took one look at me and said, "You'll do just fine." Now every corner of this town has got a piece of mine. The diner on the corner knows I take my eggs a certain way. The coat check girl at Miller's keeps my spot on Friday. The city's got a million souls, but somehow in the mix, Chicago found a name for me, and baby, it just sticks. Chicago knows my name, Chicago knows my game. She see me down, she see me fly. She never once asked me why. I've slept on her north side, I've wept on her south. She put the songs in my head and the words in my mouth. Chicago knows my name. Now some men chase a woman from New York to Santa Fe, but I found something better in the city of the lake. She doesn't ask you where you've been or where you plan to go. She just lights up like a runway, says there's room below. I've seen her in the winter time when the wind could skin a man. And still I'd rather freeze out here than sunshine with no plan. Chicago knows my name, Chicago knows my game. She's seen me down, she's seen me fly. She never once asked me why. I've slept on her north side, I've wept on her south. She put the songs in my head and the words in my mouth. Chicago knows my name. Chicago knows my name.
They say that morning fixes what the night destroys. I've tested that particular piece of wisdom, and while the light does something for the noise, it doesn't touch the deeper kind of system. The grief that finds you at 2 in the afternoon, in the middle of a sentence you were saying, the kind that surfaces without a reason or a tune, just the weight of something missing in the frame. What the morning doesn't fix lives in the afternoon. What the sunshine doesn't touch grows in every empty room. I've been patient, I've been reasonable and good. I've done everything a man in my position should. But what the morning doesn't fix, I'm still carrying. What the morning doesn't fix just goes further underground. I've been told that time is generous eventually, that it rounds the corners of the sharpest loss. And I believe that mostly and conditionally, in the way that you accept a certain cost. But the specific weight of her specific absence is a measurement that time hasn't renegotiated yet. And I check the figure every morning at the bathroom mirror. which is something I have not admitted until this. What the morning doesn't fix lives in the afternoon. What the sunshine doesn't touch grows in every empty room. Ooh, I've been patient, I've been reasonable and good. I've done everything a man in my position should. But what the morning doesn't fix, I'm still carrying around. What the morning doesn't fix just goes further underground. It isn't all of every day I want to be fair. Most hours are ordinary and intact. It's the specific moment between waking and aware when I forget and then remember. That's the fact, that's the thing the morning doesn't fix. What the morning doesn't fix, what the morning doesn't fix.
The leaves have started doing what they do, that slow considered letting go of green. And I've been watching from a window, watching something in between. The beauty and the ending of a thing that was so certain just a month ago. And somewhere across the city you are watching the same show, with someone else beside you, doing what I used to do, handing you the coffee while the maple turns to rue. Autumn in someone else's arms is the autumn I get this year. The whole season built for holding someone close, and I'm holding it alone from here. The air has that particular weight it gets that makes a man feel every year he's lived. Autumn in someone else's arms is what we are, is all I've got to give. I don't begrudge the season for its beauty, that would be a very small kind of grief. I don't begrudge you ever standing where I stood. I save my feelings for the falling leaf, the one that held on longer than the others. Through September when the rest had let it go, I always root for the stubborn ones, even knowing what I know. Autumn in someone else's arms is the autumn I get this year. The whole season built for holding someone close, and I'm holding it alone from here. The air has that particular weight it gets that makes a man feel every year he's alive. Autumn in someone else's arms is what we are, is all I've got to give. Next year maybe, that's the thing about the calendar, it comes back around, and I'll still be here when the leaves decide to do what leaves decide, and maybe I'll be less alone by autumn on the other side. Autumn in someone else's arms.